Morning, Swallows. Morning. Welcome to another fine day. Lovely to see all your wonderful work coming through last night. Some really good presentation as well. So some fantastic handwriting, guys. So keep it up. Today, I've just recorded a reading text just because I want to read this piece to you today, just so that for those of you that are struggling to read some of these really technical pieces of language and vocabulary, you've got that opportunity to hear it out loud. Then you can go away, because for this task it's definition. So you're going to go away, you're going to define that with an online dictionary. I've added that to your Seesaw task, and hopefully you'll find that quite useful. What I'd suggest is you when I share my screen, have a look at the Literacy Shed video again. If you go onto Google and you type in Literacy Shed Blitz, I will put the link on as well. If you type that in, it will come up. Just have a look at that again, because we're basing all of our learning about that short clip. And I know you watched that on Friday, didn't you? So let's get to it. I'm just going to share my screen for you. So there's your date and hello, guys. Pop that back on again in a moment. But this is your exemplar text. It's the Blitz story, Not So Brave After All. Okay, so it started as any other ordinary evening. You could call bombings, air raid sirens, rationing and devastation ordinary, that is. At 5 o'clock, I stood at my window and watched the street below. The occasional car whizzed past and children clung to their mother's skirts as they rushed to be indoors before night shrouded the streets in its velvet blanket. Above the rooftops of the houses across the road, darkness seemed to rise in a fury. Fire, burning, something was wrong. When the piercing wail of the air raid sirens filled the skies, we knew exactly what to do. We may have been living through the Blitz, but for us, life was ordinary. We didn't know any different. I shan't take cover, I whispered to myself. The smoke is from fire a long way from here. I'm safe. I shall watch and see what happens. A cry interrupted my thoughts. Lights out! Turn the lights out! Across the street, curtains were pulled and lights extinguished. We were truly in darkness. I shivered in anticipation as I stood watching, waiting to see what happened. Searchlights scoured the sky for enemy planes, their beams stretching far into the blackness. Nothing, of course. False alarm! I shouted at them. There's nothing there! As the words left my mouth, a shape emerged from the rooftops in front of me. A huge winged monster with a roar so loud and so deep that the windows rattled. Then another, and another, and another. This was no false alarm. I stood paralyzed by fear, watching as enemy planes poured over the houses. Fire filled the sky. Crashes and booms accompanied violent explosions overhead. Thomas! Thomas! Never had the frantic cry from my mother been so welcoming. Running to the door, I whimpered back, I'm coming, mother, I'm coming! One last glance at the window revealed an angry red sky over the burning city. I turned and ran to the sanctuary of my mother's arms, safe at last. Okay, so I've added that as an exploration task. It's a definition task. So what I want you to do is I want you to have a look, like we would in class. I want you to have a look at some of the technical vocabulary located within this piece. For example, burning, even could be a bit of emotional vocabulary, couldn't it, that we might use. I've got down on mine things like rationing. We look at the word the Blitz, which we're going to explore in a little bit more detail from tomorrow. Extinguished. These aren't words that you would normally find within any other normal, ordinary text, would you? And particularly words like air raid sirens. Those words together are World War II themed, aren't they? So this is technical vocabulary. So what I've popped onto here is just an example of what I want you to sort of explore. And there's sentences like this. So this is what we're looking to create at the end of this week. That's not what I want you to do today. What I'd like you to do is have a look at some of these words and just define them. So the air raid sirens sounded when the bombers approached. That's how we would use that word in particular, those words, air raid siren, in a sentence, isn't it? I've picked out 5 of these words here. So planes, beams, blackout, explosions, violence. And I want you to have a look at particularly step 1s have a look at these 5 words only. Step 2's, a couple more, choose 2 of your own. And then step 3's, these 5 and 3 or 4 of your own. Look back through the text, guys. Rewatch the clip if you need to. Define them just like we would do normally in our red books. Write them out as I've done here and add your definitions to those words. See how you get on. Let me know if there's any problems that you have. I'll be on Seesaw all morning, but thank you so much to yourselves and your parents as well for the support this week. It's you know, yesterday showed me just how much of a working team you are, and that resilience is really shining through. So keep it up, guys. You should be proud of each and every one of yourselves. Okay. See you later on for the afternoon task. Thank you.